welcome back to another edition of Social Distancing. And we got a special treat. We talked about you last episode with Brad Richardson.
I heard.
That was a 3-part episode. This might end up being a 5-parter because we know you're probably the most talkative Arizona Coyote on the team as we speak, JD.
We have a lot of guys, but we have a lot of guys that are undercover talkative. But I'm sure that guys will tell you that I flap my gums the most. So I'll take that. I'll take that title.
Okay, who's the most undercover talker on the team?
Probably one would be. He's not undercover, but like Fish is one. He's a big talker, and then, I think Steph is a really big talker. He does step on behind the mic, but he likes to get in and mix it up. He goes in early to the rink so he can kind of just talk with the training staff and do his rounds.
He's the guy who gets there at like 2:00 in the afternoon for a 7:00 game.
Well, we have like the early bus and then the late bus on the road. And he's like the only one on the early bus. And he just goes, sits there 3 hours before with his coffee. And then other than him, who's a big talker too is Kemp's. Kemp's like
more smaller groups though.
Yeah, but he likes to inject himself into conversations. He likes a good debate. So I enjoy people like that. I like people that like to kind of
dive deeper,
just give it and take it, and talk about issues and not just, he's informed. So he's on the.
Have you ever been able to pry it out of Christian Dvorak?
Yeah, he talks too. He does. He's obviously more soft spoken than anybody, but he's more quality over quantity because I find him so funny. So anything he says, I kind of laugh.
Just
at.
Carving everybody in the locker room under his breath. One of the subjects I wanted to get on, you're big into the arts, movies, Broadway. I believe your girlfriend was what play was she in?
Well, she's done Pretty Woman, Flashdance, and she's done Dirty Dancing, and then she's done Bye Bye Birdie too. Not a big deal.
Not a big deal. So very talented. Is that what got you in more to Broadway?
Yeah, I was like, my brother growing up was like, he was a big movie buff, and my father too. Like we used to always go. I don't know if anybody. We always used to do the double feature where we'd pay for the 3:00 show and then sneak into the 7 p.m. show at the movie theaters. Like that was kind of our play, and then so
I've done that one time in my life.
Oh, I don't.
You know what movies? Ladybug, and what was the guy hockey player who got the concussion and had to go into figure skater? Is it called The Cutting Edge?
Are those movies only playing like Richie's hometown in Belleville or something?
Well, yeah, I drove up to Belleville just to do the double dip. It was worth the price of gas back then, but it's actually gone up. So so you guys would sneak into movies?
Yeah, we'd pay for the one and then go into the second one, and then
you might lose your immigration status for that.
Well, I did that in Canada, so.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They might deport you if they find out. Americans aren't down with that kind of business.
I don't do it in the States, though, because they got the iPick here. So I kind of like to – well, they did have the iPick. They closed it. That was a devastating blow. And then, I met my girlfriend, and I had I'd never seen a Broadway play, but I'd heard about it, and it always kind of interested me. And then I saw her in one, and I was like, well, let's go see some others. And I just was like hooked. We kind of go every time she had a break. And every time I go to New York, I try to catch at least one. And I've met a lot of her friends that do the Broadway shows, and it's like such a cool little circle community. They're really tight knit, and there's some fun people. So like their workload is insane.
We'll get more into the details of Broadway. Hanging out with these people, though, are they always on? Even at parties and when they're drinking, are they showing off these vibrant personalities?
Oh, yeah. They're all, like, super outgoing, and, like, you'd fit in pretty nice.
So it's a fight for the floor.
Yeah. Like, they're all super outgoing and bubbly, and it's, like, it's always very – my girlfriend, they always kind of say it's, like, strong and wrong, so it's just, like, they just go for it. And it's cool to see people that just kind of, they're in their own bubble and they just have a good time, and they don't really kind of care if they look like they're too loud or kind of look silly. So, it's a cool.
So safe to say you could be at a social gathering, maybe even grabbing drinks at home with these people, and next thing you know, it's like an improv session's busting out.
But they'll sing and like break out. Like, I mean, when my girlfriend gets together with people that she's done shows with in the past, like they'll just do a dance routine that they've done before, and like,
TikTok? Are they on TikTok?
hey, this is my time right now. She heard me talk about her, so she's coming out. And hey, this is big.
Well, if she's gonna talk, she's got to come on. Let's go. Let's do a little double dip. It'll be the first couple.
Back in the dungeon to you. No,
you have to sit 6 feet apart though.
She's going back in her dungeon. Oh, that's a smart call. I don't like to share the spotlight.
Here's a prime example of how one of those parties end up. What was your favorite Broadway show?
Everything She's Done.
Good answer. And you said it loud enough so she could hear it in her dungeon.
That Everything She's Done is my favorite Broadway show.
Getting a back rub tonight. Hey, exactly. Get in there. Get
shoulder rub.
Get the elbows in there, sweetheart.
Yeah, just playing the hair a bit.
So, I mean, obviously you've probably been catching up on a lot of movies and television shows. It seems to be probably one of the main topics of discussion anytime you get in a chat with anyone. What have you been catching up on?
I mean, I started Veep, which I love. It's a good it's with that Julia Louis-Dreyfus. It's very like political, but it's like kind of cool because a lot of the things that go on in the show kind of have been happening now. And then I also just recently started that Sunderland Till I Die, that soccer one. It's unbelievable. It's about the Sunderland AFC. They got relegated from the Premier League, and then they got relegated to the League One. And it's like their whole, comeback and everything. It's like a cool little documentary just about how like the English Premier League works and all that stuff. And I mean, as for movies,
you ever been to a game over there? I ended up going to see. Speaking of relegation, I was playing in Cardiff for the Devils in that EIHL, and I went and watched a Cardiff City soccer match, and they ended up winning the league that year, and they ended up going up to the British Premier League for a year. And it was, I mean, I wasn't a huge soccer fan, but going live and experiencing it, I would love to go see like an Arsenal versus Man U or Man U versus Man City. Yeah, have you been to one?
I went and saw Real Madrid. I went to Spain. 6 years ago, I saw Real Madrid, and then I also
was Ronaldo playing.
It was their last game of the season because like our season ends, and then if you don't make the playoffs, like their last game. But then I saw
what? So he was resting for playoffs. Is that kind of how they do it in soccer too?
They had already won the league, and then they're playing their Champions League like the next week. So like he basically wouldn't play.
He was getting a flush in the training room, is what you're saying.
Flush dash, but
he might not even showed up that day. He's like, boys, I've put you on my back the whole season. I'll get us in Champions League. I ain't showing up. Make sure my check clears though.
He was doing abs and tanning in the back somewhere.
Oh yeah.
But
he's always got that tan.
Oh my God, that guy is groomed.
You think he bronzes? You think he's got the spray thing in his house?
Oh, he's probably got a spray tan machine and everything.
Have you ever gotten a spray tan?
Have I? I used to do no word of a lie. When I was in my first year in the A, we were in Worcester, and like some of the guys, we ended up getting like a package at those tanning beds.
Yeah.
And we ended up going for like, it's like a 5. It was like 5 for the price of 10. So we were trying to get a little tan in Worcester. So we'd go to those 5-minute tanning beds. It was hilarious. We had all the boys like playing in the woo, and I mean, you play in Manchester, you know how cold it is there, and we're coming into the games on a 3-3, just absolutely bronze tanned on the ice.